Whiz, woo, buckle up, buckaroo. Knowledge and Ignorance podcast. Sipping on some of Vietnam's finest Shiraz. You wouldn't believe how we're living out here. Crazy large. I'm talking mammoth large, you know. I'm talking that big bird that lived in New Zealand before the Maoris ate it large. That's how we're out here. Now, let's talk. Let's talk about taking responsibility for yourself. I know now's not time for a lecture. But it kind of is, isn't it, really? I know you're just wanting to sort of laze the days away and forget about all your problems and just look towards the future. You know, just ignore now. Everyone's just sort of cooped up in their house like a child during the Christmas period. Remember when you were a little kid and you're like, oh, I just wish I could sleep till Christmas and wake up and it be Christmas. Yeah, be like that. Like, if I could just sleep for the next 30 days till it's Christmas. Or some of you are way excited in October or something. Oh, I want to sleep for 60, 90 days or something. Wake up, it's Christmas. I want to wake up and the pub's open. I think when you look across the world at how other countries have sort of handled things, there is a strong argument that taking social distancing seriously is obviously a main factor. Washing hands, that's a big thing. Wearing masks, unlike what the World Health Organization has told people to do originally. But some governments have just let people take responsibility for themselves. Like Sweden, for instance. Now we don't know how Sweden's going to play out. But other countries too. I mean, out here in Vietnam, basically, people made their own decisions to close places down without government recommendations. And then the government enforced shutdowns and people just complied. But people were taking responsibility for themselves way early. And in the UK, I mean, I've seen the images, bearing in mind I am so far away that I don't really know how to verify it all, but it does look like that. Even with enforcement, people aren't taking responsibilities. Now, I'm not judging people. I'm not saying, being locked down by the force of the government is not something I totally agree with. But I think, what has happened to us? We've been turned into fucking babies. That's what happened. We haven't been allowed to have any responsibility for a hell of a long time. We've been conditioned to think that the government and the state are going to take care of absolutely everything. I'll comment on this a lot, and I'm going to keep commenting on it. From the education of our children, I'm not just talking about, 4+4, or, how to construct a sentence properly, or, burning stuff on a Bunsen burner. We've allowed the state to take over, sex education. We've got fucking social studies. We've allowed schools to teach us how to teach our kids how to, engage with people, what is acceptable to say, what isn't acceptable to say, how to masturbate, all kinds of fucking weird shit that they're teaching your kids in schools. It's weird because you should be teaching them. It's all been taken away. Well, not taken away, you gave it away. And we've been giving it away. You want to talk about this triggered culture and, how people are real soft now and political correctness gone mad and whatever. We've allowed it happen because people just, putting your feelings before facts. You got to look at it from this perspective, right? When you've allowed a culture to censor everything because of how people feel about it, you set a very bad precedent because no one can take social responsibility anymore. Like, no one can take responsibility for their own lives and their own actions. It's like it's up to you how you interpret something and how you feel about it. You know what I mean? If you choose it to ruin your fucking day, then that's on you. But yet, apparently, we have to let the authorities step in and decide what people can and can't say, what people can and can't do in case it affects someone else, instead of those people taking responsibility for their own actions and letting people sort it out for themselves. We've raised a nation of babies who rely on bigger babies to look after them. You know, grown-ass people running around just begging for tit, like pinging for tit. I'm going, where's some tits to suck? I need sustenance. You know, you're like the kid who was still breastfeeding until he was 9 or something. Except you're grown-ass people. And you're just like, I just need some tits to suck. I'm like, I need milk. Give me milk. You've let it all go. You've allowed yourselves to get conditioned into becoming just these helpless babies that need to be told everything, that can't take responsibility for anything. So when the government says, you know, it's up for you to make a responsible decision, to be responsible for yourselves, you all go, but what are we supposed to do and what aren't we supposed to do? It's like, well, what do you think you're supposed to fucking do? The fact that we've got manuals on how to raise babies. 101 ways to raise your children right. You should know how to raise your fucking children right. It's simple. Isn't it simple? Doesn't it come naturally to us? We're being conditioned to just have to be told everything. Just everything. This is why other nations are probably doing better at this very point in time that I am doing this, speaking right now, because we can't take responsibility for our own actions. We can't be left alone and be responsible. I'll give you an example. They repatriated a flight. You know, the flight repatriation. It's a new term, isn't it? Well, it's not a new term, but it's a buzz one. It's a new buzzword for the kids. Repatriation. We're repatriating people back to the UK from far-flung corners of the globe to bring them back home to safety. I don't know what safety they're being brought back to, because I'm in a developing country and there's a lot fucking better here. But anyway, one of the flights came in from Bolivia. There was a news article about it. And it said, you know, they all clapped when they landed. Yay! They were like, yay, clapping. Yay, we've landed, we're in England. But then it went on to say that passengers have voiced their concerns about how they felt they'd been left in the dark about self-quarantining and whether they should or not. And it's like, what do you think you should do? How about that one? What do you reckon you should do? What are you thinking? Bearing in mind that you can't get away from this. It's easier to stay out of the way of the disease and not catch it than it is to get away from the fucking information that you have on it. Oh, but there's so much misinformation. Yeah, but pretty much all the core information that everyone's been told, that has been constantly told and hasn't been debunked, and it's like, do this, is, quarantine yourself for 14 days. What do you think you're going to do? Do you think you just land off a long haul flight from a strange country with a bunch of strangers all boxed in a fucking airplane for like fucking 12 hours, breathing in the same air, you know, ass to ball sack on a fucking airline, and you're wondering what you should do? No, you should go, the first thing you should do is just go visit everybody you know and hug and kiss them. That's what you should do. That's the first thing you should do. What do you think you should fucking do? Now, is it these people's fault that they have to be told what to do constantly? No, I think we've allowed a culture where we have to have an answer for everything, and we have to be told exactly what to do about everything instead of just going, I think I need to make a decision for myself. Out here in developing countries that are similar, you walk around and, you know, it's a developing country, okay? There's clues in the fucking term. There'll be like a massive hole in the road or in the pavement, Just a big hole. There's usually quite a few big holes. Like when they're doing construction work and relaying pipes and stuff, they'll just leave a big hole. There's no sign saying, yo, there's a big hole. Yo, look, there's a big hole with loads of tape. Danger, big fucking hole. There's none of that. There's just a hole. Because you can see there's a hole, you see. So you walk along and go, yo, there's a big hole. I'm not going to step in that. I don't think I'll go in that big hole. But of course, in the Western world, especially in the UK, it's like, oh, there's a big hole. Then there's a sign saying, look out, big fucking hole. Yo, there's a big hole, man. Look out for the big hole. Have you seen the big hole? Don't step in the big hole. You're like, yeah, I won't step in the big hole. But if you were in the UK and you saw a massive hole and there was no sign telling you not to step in the big hole, people would be like, I saw a big fucking hole in the pavement. And they'd be posting it up all over social media going, there's a big hole, and there was no sign telling people there was a big hole. How irresponsible. Do you need to be told there's a big hole? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? You're constantly told about everything. I remember when I went to university, don't judge me. I went as a mature student, and I regret it, and I'm never paying them back. But I remember I stayed in the halls of residence for like a few months before I made the wise decision to move the fuck out of there. I just did it. I don't know. I thought because I was older, I just thought I'd get loads of pussy. To be honest, that's why I did it. I didn't because they're all, I don't even know about young people. They're fucking idiots. Too stupid to fuck, basically. I'm really going off topic now, aren't I? But there were signs all over the place saying, about the dangers of a cooker. Here's a cooker. It gets hot. You'll burn yourself. Just all these signs on how to wash your fucking hands. Although, current climate, I don't think a lot of us know how to wash our hands properly. So maybe that's, I'll give or take on that one. I'll let that one slide. But here's an oven. Don't put your head in it. Literally signs like that all over the place. This is a window. Don't jump out the window. And it's like, who are you expecting to be here right now? I mean, who are you renting this place to? Is Planet Retard suddenly expelled all its biggest retards? Like when Cuba expelled released everyone from prison and sent them off on boats to America just to fuck with them, saying, yeah, we'll just send them over there. So Planet Retard just unleashed all these retards, and then apparently they landed on planet Earth and went to university, and they need to be told everything in minute detail. If you see dog shit, don't pick it up and smear it on your face. Don't litter. Why the fuck are we told not to litter? Like, surely don't just don't. Isn't it? Doesn't it make sense? We're told there's an answer for everything without us having to think. We don't have to think about things at all. And then when we come to this point in time where, because this disease this virus is so new that no one really understands it properly yet, and it was like, we need answers. Like, well, take the basic facts and run with it. All the people going, we need the government to tell us whether we should close places. Like, well, there's this highly contagious disease that spreads from human to human, and you shouldn't be, and the data says that, you need to maintain a good distance of 1.5 meters to 2 meters from motherfuckers, otherwise you could catch it or spread it onto them. Yeah, but we need to know, I've got a roller disco. I've got a youth club where we're all encouraged to kiss and hug each other. Are we allowed to be open or not? I need to be told by the government whether I should be open or not at the kissing and hugging club. Is the kissing and hugging club allowed to be open or not? Tell me now, government! Oh, this is tyranny. This is fascism. What do you think about your kissing and hugging fucking club when there's a contagious disease that's spread, from human to human contact? What do you think? What do you think you should be doing with the kissing and hugging club? Do you think it should be closed? Or do you think you should keep it open until the government says? If the government says, hello, I wrote to my local MP about I bought a shotgun. The instructions didn't say if I should stick it in my mouth and pull the trigger whilst it's loaded. I need some clarification on this, okay? What are are you going to do your job or not? Can I put this firearm in my mouth and pull the trigger? Is that fine? I need to know. For goodness sake, why is the government not telling me what to do with this firearm? I need the government to tell me whether I can stick my finger in my child's asshole. I mean, it gets to this level, isn't it? It's like, is this acceptable behaviour for me and my child? Government, what are the government guidelines on what is weird to do with your kids? I don't know, I just need the government to tell me. I didn't know. Do you know why they got a thing that's called no ignorance of the law? When you get arrested for something, saying, well, I didn't know that was illegal. It's like, yeah, there's no such thing as ignorance of the law. You're still getting banged up for it. I didn't know I could murder someone. Yeah, well, you're getting arrested for it, I'm afraid. Well, I didn't know. No one told me. Well, where's the information? We've been kept in the dark about what we should do. What is it? What is an essential item? I need clarification on what an essential item is. Does it keep you alive? Oh, I don't know. I need to be told. Someone needs to tell me what an essential item is. Please tell me. Well, what do you think it is? Is water an essential item? Yes. Okay, right. Good. Well, I'm glad we started off strong. Is a fidget spinner an essential item, sir? A butt plug. Yeah. You know those dog toys that people like to have? They've got like a moustache on it or a silly smiley face. So when the dog picks it up, the dog runs up to you and it's got this stupid big grin on it. You just laugh at your dog going, you fucking idiot. Is that an essential item? Is that one of your essential items? But I need the funny dog toy. Do you need to be told? Why do you need to be told? Why? Why can't you decide for yourself what you should and shouldn't be doing? We've been conditioned, man. We're totally conditioned. We have to constantly be told everything without making any decisions for ourselves. And we wonder why you got people who've been completely indoctrinated by lunatic ideologies where it's like, oh, well, you're a victim. You're a victim. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do anything. No, society needs to do it for you. No responsibility for your own actions. No, it's because of this. It's because of society. It's because of the regulations. It's because of the government. It's because of prejudices. Blah, 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 blah. The law of nature doesn't care if you're a dickhead or not. The lion will eat you. The disease will get you. You'll fall in the thorn bush. The thorns will still rip your skin open. Okay? And it's unfair. And you're like going, yeah, but where's the safety net? Where's the protection for me? Like, how much protection do you want? How much of a baby do you want to be? You lose your job. There's a safety net. There's a safety net for fucking everything. Despite what everyone says about austerity and from this and that, this has been the best time to be alive if you lived in the Western world. Do you know what I mean? There's a serious lack of problems, isn't there? That's why people are constantly creating all these issues, now these non-problems, going, yeah, but I can't use that bathroom or whatever these boring talking points have been for the past few years, just regurgitating, going on and on and on. First world problem shit. It's like, we need the government to stop people being mean. We need the government to protect my feelings. We need laws to protect my feelings. Whereas even in cognitive therapy, if you go and get cognitive therapy and you've got depression or whatever, and they'll say, well, how you think is going to be how you feel. That's why it's like a feeling triangle that they got in cognitive therapy. If you choose to be offended, if you choose to be upset by something, you can choose to be upset by something, or you can just ignore it and just look at someone. Do you know what? People who say mean things or do shitty things are just having a bad day. I'll give you some examples. Look, you've got to take responsibility for how you feel. It's the only thing you can control. If anything during this time is, you should understand that the only thing you can control is how you feel and how you act in a time of chaos. People are just terrified of chaos. But it's like, you're in control of your own actions. But we've been conditioned to apparently not be in control of our own actions. Oh, vulnerable people. I got pregnant and I wasn't ready. Well, you shouldn't have been fucking, should you? Can we just address that elephant in the room? It's like, oh, but I wasn't ready to have a baby. Well, then you weren't ready to accept dick. And he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to get up in there. My son. If you're not ready to take responsibility for what shoots out of your penis, then don't stick it anywhere. Put it in a tissue and throw it in the bin. Or there's condoms. Why do you think the UK has got such a high rate of teenage pregnancy compared to someone like Holland? Where in Holland it's like, yes, we just fuck. Real low rates of teenage pregnancy. Real low rates of actual drug abuse in this very liberal place that we call Holland. Yeah, we love to fuck. We can fuck at 12. It doesn't matter. No unwanted babies. Because people aren't taught to be responsible because there's too many options at the end of it. We've sort of taken responsibility away from people. And think about it. Whether you get pregnant, if you have the baby and you've got no money, you're going to get money and a house. This happens a hell of a lot. They've even incentivized the breaking up of the family unit. You get more if you don't have a man providing for you. There's so many weird loopholes in this shit. Like, you can cohabit for a couple of days a week, but then if they spend any more than like 3 days or something, if the father spends any more than 3 days in the house, therefore that means he lives there, and therefore he loses the right to have his house, and he loses his benefits. So they're incentivized to stay apart, to keep families apart. What the fuck is all that about? So the mother is married to the state. The provider is the government. The provider is the authorities who get to choose whether they give it or take it away. That's not freedom. That's slavery. This is enslavement. I always used to think people who turn their noses up at, going on job seekers, getting benefits and that. I always think, you idiot, it's free money. Until you realize it's like, no, that's slavery. You're not in control of nothing. You are a slave to the fucking government, and you're supposed to be grateful. Just tell them to go fucking stick their money. Go live in TP Valley and just forage. And that's the thing. If you get into arguing with people about abortion and shit, and people always think you're just being evil or mean and going, oh, what are you? Oh, what are you, some sort of right-wing Catholic? No. My points about abortion is that it's just too easy to get them. Now, there's many reasons why you should have abortions. I mean, there's data to suggest that unwanted children grow up to be shitbags and do horrible things and bad things, and then unwanted babies getting put into the care system, and the care system's fucking terrible, as we know. The most vulnerable people in the United Kingdom are people in the care system. I mean, it's a terrible system. It's fucked. There's so many people. That's why the grooming scandal has happened, because the care system's so terrible. The most vulnerable people in Britain were treated like shit, basically. They were treated like shit. We're completely disrespected. The most vulnerable people in Britain, when they sort of these people who flounce around saying, "Oh, we're here to protect the most vulnerable groups of people," except little white girls getting raped. Good for you. Like, what? I'm laughing because it's just fucking too tragic to cry. So there is an argument, you don't want people ending up in the care system, but then, you're killing babies. The point is that it's too easy. You have you have people who can't afford to have the children. Okay, and an abortion is a good idea. Then you have people who've got money to raise the kids. Oh, but I already have children, and then they can get rid of the kid. So there's no responsibility. Whereas the responsibility should be when the dick comes out and the vagina is wet. That's when that fucking thing should start. Have you put a fucking condom on? Do you know how many times? Think about it. You're probably one of them. Do you know how many people don't fucking wear condoms? Thinking about all my friends. Fuck all people who strap up. This is how this shit happens. Why do you think you get these broken relationships? These fucked up relationships. And someone's got 5 kids with some dude who's a fucking waste of space. He's a fucking waste of space. Fuck him. Well, why the fuck did you fuck him then? Why did you fuck him enough times to have 5 kids? What is the matter with you? Why are you doing that? It's made women lower their standards and men lower their standards. You don't look at a woman and just go, "Oh, that is a baby mother right there. She is, she is projecting to me the core values and the magic ingredients of a wonderful wife and mother." No, you're just looking at her going, look at her, fucking her tits hanging out. She's got vomit all over her face. She's a 3, but I'm drunk. She's a 7. She's a 7 right now, and I'd fuck a 5 right now. And that's it. And ladies, you should be looking at the man going, he is a provider. He's a provider. He is a go-getter. He is a strong man. He is someone who can fucking provide for me and my children. He's looking going, well, he's funny like, and he sells coke. Look out there, setting, he's strapped fireworks to his fucking fingers and lighting them, going, and they blow up. You're like, hey, he's funny. I'll fuck him. You have these unwanted babies, and he's a waste man, and you're a waste woman, and you got these fucking. Then you just bring up some waste kids. They're just running around, too stupid to realise that they shouldn't be licking toilet seats and coughing in old people's faces. This is what happens. The moment where you should be taking responsibility is when your penis comes out. I think we've taken away from it. I think we've conditioned people to be like this because I think people are way better than this. But just look at China, look at North Korea. The hideous actions of the fucked up ideology that comes from the top down, from the government, just spreads out throughout society. They've erased their original cultures. They don't even know their original culture, and it's been replaced by this bullshit. And that's how the people are. It ain't too much different to what's happened in our countries when bullshit's been replaced with true values and responsibility. You can't blame the people for being the way they are when every aspect of their life is controlled by this fucking weird shit. And we got it in the UK too. It's not as bad, but it's made us horrendously irresponsible. We don't take responsibility for shit. Like I said, it shouldn't be a discussion about an abortion or a discussion about getting benefits and milk tokens. There should be a discussion about, should I put this fucking condom on? Should I be having sex with you in the first place? This whole thing is just fucking instant gratification that we've been drilled into us. And we've got to buy something every 5 minutes because the fucking thing we had before is now outdated. And we just need it. We need instant gratification instead of working towards something better. Patience has been fucking removed. And that's not just like in the internet age and the rapid, how quickly you can get stuff. That's been going on for a fucking long time. When they took away all our responsibilities, They took away our freedoms and they took away our abilities to be good human beings and turned us into fucking babies. Because it's like, well, I haven't got a job. Oh, you go on benefits. What if you haven't got benefits? Do you think you'd work harder for all the times people get sacked or lose a job? Because you can only go on benefits if you get sacked. Not if you leave a job and make a decision. Not if you make a decision. An actual decision, a decisive decision. This job's bullshit, I'm leaving it. They won't let you go on benefits if you make the decision. If someone else makes the fucking decision, then you can go on benefits. Which sounds fair, and it is fair, but somewhere along the line, you have to take responsibility for why the fuck you were sacked in the fucking first place. People don't want to work that hard. This is why the minimum wage is such bullshit, because people have no aspirations to work towards. There's no incentive to work any harder, because once you're capped, well, we're paying you the legal requirement. The government told us how much we can pay. The government told you how much you're fucking worth. And there you are, you're just stuck there. Or whatever it is now, I have no idea what minimum wage brackets are now. I say it's like £7.20. It will be for one age group. You know, when do you get a pay rise on minimum wage? Or when you turn a certain age? Brilliant. And then you're just stuck there forever. If you're working at some bullshit job, you can't go any further. They'll never give you a pay rise because you're worthless to them. And therefore you don't want to work hard. Because what's the fucking point? There's no point in working hard. Because you're not doing this bullshit job because you love it. Or because you believe in it. You're doing it because you need money. And then you're just capped. Because you've been told this is how much you're worth. You've been told. They told you this is how much you're worth. And the fucking employers, this is how much your employees are worth. This is how much they're worth. You don't need to give them any more than that. Well, I'll leave the job. Oh, and go work where? Somewhere else for the same money? Brilliant idea. You've had that taken away. You've had the ability to negotiate and haggle your worth. It's being surrendered because you need the government to tell everyone what to fucking do. You need everything to be told what to do. You need to be constantly told what to do. Responsibility completely removed. Responsibility from parents taken away. You need to teach your kids how to respect women. You need to teach your kids about reproduction, the birds and the bees. You need to tell them about this and that, not to talk to fucking strangers, not to do this. Don't get in the back of a van with a weirdo with a cat. Well, actually, it's usually puppies, isn't it? It's always puppies. That's in the 80s that they just go, you know, the advert with Charlie says. The man would actually come and say, "You want to come in my van and look at these puppies?" Apparently that's how all paedophiles used to lure kids in. You know, it's like rapists with people who rape women. There's always chocolates. Would you like some chocolates, dear? You know, little kids, it's puppies. You know, people have got so lazy and irresponsible that they've surrendered just the basic values you're supposed to teach your children. You've given up to the state. It's fucked. People can't cook for themselves because they've left the responsibility to Finders or to Tesco's or to M&S. Oh, let's get some ready meals. Can't even fucking cook. Bruv. You can't even cook. You can buy your packaged meat, but you couldn't bring yourself to chop the head off a chicken and fucking pluck it and skin it. Oh no, I couldn't do that. You've left that responsibility to someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've just left so much responsibility to other people. So no wonder you can't take responsibility for your own actions when you're spreading a fucking virus around. The government have to tell you to stay inside. You have to be imprisoned instead of just being someone that made the decision to stay indoors. I'm all up for defiance, and it's going to get to a stage where people are going to get fed up with this bullshit. I'm going to want to go outside and say, you know what, fuck this shit. I'll take my chances. And they should be allowed to do so. But how many people are equipped to fucking make responsible decisions for themselves? Maybe this is the best thing for them. Is to realize, yo, I need to take responsibility for my own actions. Because we have been seduced by a culture. We've been indoctrinated. We've been conditioned. We've been fucking brainwashed, however you want to put it. We have been to just to sort of relinquish responsibility to someone else for everything. Oh, we can't make these kind of decisions. Well, we can't do that. We can't walk into a supermarket and see there's a wet floor and not realize that it's wet. Don't go in the line enclosure. Why? There's no sign here, don't go in the line enclosure. Does that mean it's okay to go in? Huh? Is this what you've been reduced to? Don't drink the bleach. The fire is hot. And it says, danger, fire is hot. Danger, fire is burning. What? My brothers and sisters, what the fuck have you done to yourselves? What have you done? No. All responsibility has been taken away. That's why when you get people saying, well, you know, when you've grown up in a certain environment, you don't know no better. You don't know no better. These kids need hugs. That's why they're out there stabbing each other. We're robbing people because they don't know no better. They don't know no better. They haven't been shown the way. Take some fucking responsibility for yourselves. You know? Take some responsibility. This is why you always used to see in a university just no sense of personal responsibility. Nothing. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, instead of just going, just let it play out. I'll say what I like. They can say what they like too. And then we'll see what happens. You know, I went to a special needs school for a short period of time. I was majorly dyslexic. And they used to have a policy at the school, you know, if say I punched someone, right, I wouldn't get in trouble. We'd both get in trouble. Because the teacher would come along, because you had a lot of real head cases. You had people with ADHD and dyspraxia and all dyslexia, Asperger's, you know, all the loopy shit. And you'd have the teacher come up to you and saying, yeah, well, he punched me. And they'd be like, well, what did you say to him? You understand what I'm saying? Things will happen to you, and then you'll go complain about it without taking responsibility for your own actions. Well, why did that happen? Why did that person hit you? Why did that person say that thing to you? Why do you think people say offensive shit? Do you know what I'm saying? I'll give you some examples. I mean, company I work for, which is Chinese, guy got sacked from the company. He was having a bad day, basically, because it's a self-employed sort of situation. So he had responsibilities with the company, had to be doing something at a certain time. But his wife was ill, and he had to go get his kids from school. And the company was like, well, you know, the policies that we have, you do get, the Chinese are very harsh. They're quite harsh, but they've actually got, I'll give them credit for the fact of they instill responsibility into you, because if you are late or you fuck up with this, and if it's definitely your fault, you will get penalized for it. Very much so. It's harsh, but it actually makes you... Because trust me, I've never been late. Ever. Oh, and by the way, I've always worn a condom too. So it suits me down at the ground. But obviously things will come up, and it's harsh. And it's a harsh reality sometimes. Life gets in the way, and you just got to take it on the chin. So, this guy had to accept the penalties. He had to accept the penalties. Because that's the policy. And he's like, oh, you're not human. Oh, rah, rah, rah. You know, I got to get the kids. It's like, sorry, but, you're not getting sacked. But it's like, but, you're going to have to take the policy says you will get penalised for certain situations. Life throws up these spanners in the works sometimes, and you just got to deal with it. And the guy lost his shit, as you probably, he must be at the end of his day. He was having a shit. He was clearly having a bad day, and he said some rather racy things towards the Chinese company and the people of China. Let's just put it like that. And being a Chinese company, they released exactly what he said, because that's what they like to do, because they do have, they have beautiful, amazing things about their culture that is very beneficial, but they have that communist bullshit where it's like, look at this dirty foreigner and the mean things he said to us. They like to flip it around. It's a very Chinese thing. And everybody, who worked for the company were up in arms going, oh my God, name and shame this person? Because they didn't name him. They just showed what he said, which is the tactic. We're not going to name and shame him. It's like, this is what you people do. You best keep in line. And they named him, and people are like, name him, shame him, dox him, burn him. Actually, no one said burn him, but I think a couple of them were sort of gearing towards the burn him thing. And they were saying, what an evil, horrible person, blah, 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 blah. And I just looked at him and was like, I don't see a racist person. I see someone having a really bad day. A terrible day. This guy's having a really bad day, and he's lashed out. Lashed out. So, if someone lashes out because they're having a shit day, why are you going to take offense to it? When you can just look at someone and go, yo, they're having a fucking shit day. All right. You shouldn't take anything to heart about someone who's having a shit day and lashes out at you about it. I mean, that's in the fucking 4 Agreements. That's one of the most, that book's such a spiritual, it's all about spirituality and just having these 4 agreements with you and just how life is and things to live by. And this is the sort of thing you would think that people in Silicon Valley and that, vegans and far left-leaning lunatics would be into, because that's kind of the picture they paint themselves, but they ain't into that kind of shit. What's someone offensive, someone will say something offensive and mean to you, you'll take it to heart, and then apparently they need to be shut up and you need to be protected, whereas you just need to go, yo, that's someone having a bad day. That's someone projecting their inner turmoil onto me, and I shouldn't take it personally. That's the value. That is the mentality that should be taught to people. But oh no, it's like, no, your feelings. Don't take responsibility for your own feelings. Bullshit. Take responsibility for your own feelings. If you feel bad about something, that's on you. That's someone who had a bad day. I'll give you another example. When my father died, I actually recollected an interview with the comedian T.K. Kirkland. I know this sounded fucking random as fuck, but look, T.K. Kirkland was talking about how, he'd be walking around with a gun, and sometimes he'd be looking at someone who's looking at him thinking, what the fuck, right about the beef. But then he says, but you've always got to remember that you don't know what's happened to that person on that day. You don't know. You don't know how they're coming. You don't know. And when my father died, I was very conscious of this because I had to get a long flight to the UK. Originally, I was getting the flight to say goodbye to him as he was on his deathbed, but he died before I managed to get on the fucking plane. But the plane's already booked, so now I'm just going back to bury my father. And I'm on the plane, and I'm out, changing at airports. I had to get 3 separate flights, and just bumping into people, and I was just so polite and so jolly with people because it just made me realize it's like, shit, I don't know what anyone's going through right now. I don't know what kind of day they had. I've had a fucking shittest day. I said, and I really hope no one's had a shitter day than me. Do you know what I mean? But someone might have had a shit day or be having an equally as shit day right now. And if you bump into someone, it's like, sorry. And if someone's an asshole to you, you just go, okay, well, that's on you. Because I'm not going to be affected by it. You think about all the youngsters who kill each other because of how someone acts towards them, and then they get caught up in their feelings. That's what getting caught up in your feelings does. It makes some people fucking kill people, like out of pure stupidity. And then what? 2 lives fucked. And all the lives around you are fucked because of you were caught up in your feelings, because you couldn't take responsibility for your own feelings. Yeah, and I was walking around, I spent 30 hours traveling around to get back to bury my dad. Being very mindful about other people. You should be mindful of other people too, mindful of yourself. Because look, the only thing you can be responsible for is your own actions. That's all you got. It's the best thing you got going for you. And it's liberating. It's liberating to not look towards the future with fear because you don't know what's going to happen. You just go, fuck it. Who knows what's going to happen? Fuck it. Cool. Own it. Live with it. It's good. It's about taking responsibility. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I know what I can do. I don't know what the next person's going to do, but I know how I'm going to react to it. React to it in the best way possible. What can I do? It's like, what can I do? What can I do? The government won't tell me what to do. Don't want to tell me what to do. You know what to do. You've been given enough guidelines to know what to do. The rest of it you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Look within inside yourself and then you will see. All this kind of hippy-dippy shit, you should be taking this on board, but you're just too worried about not being told what to do. You're scared of not being told what to do. You're scared. You love being told what to do. You love the police telling you to go home. You love the police telling you to stay in your fucking house. You love the government telling you can't open your fucking business because in the first place, you couldn't take responsibility for yourself. I need the government to tell me what to do, even though all the information's available of what I should be doing. And people go, but they need to close everything down for insurance company purposes. That's fair enough. That is some fucking bullshit. But you're going to have to think a bit better, think a bit cleverer next time, innit? Face facts. Or just keep the fucking business open. If the government's not telling you to fucking close it down, what kind of business you got? What do you know? What can you do to make sure everyone's safe to the best of your abilities? It's either close it down or implement. How many people can work from home? Wrap people up in fucking bubble wrap for all I care. I know I'm going a bit off topic and this is a very grey area. Very grey. Hopefully people can figure it out. Because I know what you got to do. I mean, when you find a case, you got to quarantine that area. That's what they're doing out here. That's something that works. You got to test lots of people. And you got to say fuck people's feelings. And fuck your own feelings. Because the next time someone's eating a pangolin and starts fucking coughing, we're banning all flights. Everything's banned. No one's welcome. That is clearly the best way. Just like putting a condom on before you fuck a bitch that you don't really want to fuck, just because you need some instant gratification. And you're probably like, you're grandizing, you're moralizing. I ain't fucking moralizing on nothing. If I want to get gratification from a girl, if I just need that gratification, I'm not sticking my dick in her vagina. And I'm going to make sure she understands that. I said, look, I'm not on the long ting. All right? We ain't even kissing. I'm fucking you between the tits or in the crease of your asshole. Or you're just jacking me off. And I'll do whatever you want. I'll stick my tongue in there. I'll stick my fingers in there. But the pee-pee don't go in there. Because you are not mother material. And I am father material, by the way. So, or she might look at me and go, I don't want any fucking kids with this twat. Well, don't let my penis up in there then. You know what I'm saying? Without a Jimmy hat on. Put a fucking mask on and put a condom on, for goodness sake. How can it be? What do I need to do? Do I need to wear a condom? Yes, you do. Do I need to self-quarantine? Yes, you do. We must stop being babies. This is why millennials are so fucking broken, and I am a fucking millennial. I was given the freedom by my parents. My parents are incredibly conservative when it comes to politics, but when it comes to like life in general and upbringing, it was very liberal. I had a very liberal upbringing. I was allowed to do a hell of a lot of what I wanted to do. Yeah, I made some fucking mistakes, and it took me. I probably needed just that little bit more discipline, but I kind of disciplined myself, and I found my own way. And being thoroughly dyslexic, it takes you kind of a bit longer to find your way, unfortunately. But once you find your way, you absolutely smash it. That's why we're, Einstein, Oprah, Tom Cruise, George Bush. Well, that was perfect, I suppose. But look, that's all I'm willing to say on the matter for this time. Okay? So, remember the 13th of April, when I fucking told you, stop surrendering yourself. Be responsible for your own shit, because that's all you've got. All you've got is your own. Is all you've got. The only thing you can control is yourself and being responsible for yourself. All right. If everyone can do that, then everyone will be fucking fine. You don't need people telling you what to fucking do. Don't you fucking tell me what to do. That's right, because you should be telling yourself what to do better than anyone else. La la. Now I could end it, Remember the Jerry Springer show when it was like an hour of just pure ignorant bullshit entertainment. It's like black Israelites versus the KKK in a food fight. And at the end, Jerry would be like, hey, I'm going to tell you a story about my grandmother in the Holocaust. And he'd get all deep. And, you go, remember, be good to yourselves and each other, Because I know, this is knowledge and ignorance, baby. I've been talking some mad shit, I've said some really grim things, but I've said some incredible things that are going to so benefit the rest of your life, and sprinkled in some absolute filth. This is what you like to do. Now, remember, if you want to support this kind of thing, there's many ways you can support, but the best thing to do is just to go to my website and sign up to the mailing list and just consume all my content with the website. We're moving forward. YouTube and all this bullshit needs to get left behind. We need to take the power back, and everyone needs to have their own niche. Everyone needs to have their own website, their own fucking place. YouTube is just a place to host content. It's not a place to fucking broadcast content. It's a web server. It's a server where you can put your content. We don't need their fucking advertising money, because I'll have my own website, which gets it. Think, you get 1 million clicks on a fucking YouTube video. Think about getting 1 million clicks on a website. See what I'm saying? And selling your own advertising space. You see what I'm saying? This is the fucking future. Fuck these major corporations. They've done nothing but harm. They promote the idea that you shouldn't be responsible for your own actions because they want to control you too. You're not even responsible for what you watch, because the algorithm fucking tells you what to watch. Oh, no bloody more. It's an order. Now go after consuming this, go on YouTube and you create your own fucking algorithm. Just type in what you want to watch, not what it recommends you watch. You watch what you want to watch. I don't care if it's cats playing with balls of string. I don't care. If it's transgenders fighting in Brooklyn, fuck it. Tigers pissing on scorpions. Whatever, man. Or go look up some black Israelite preaching videos. They're fucking hilarious. People are crazy. Go look at that. Oh, you ain't telling me what to do. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell you what to do. You can figure it out for yourself. Do what you want to do, but do it in your best way. I'm out. Peace, love, prosperity, and